Hey, greetings and salutations. Second Star right here, talking Raid Shadow Legends, as per usual. I've been off for a couple days, videoless, because I was growing my Dracomorph that I had pulled. I wanted to add a few million to my clan boss team. Now I do a little bit more damage, hitting a little bit harder. That's pleasing to me, but it did take a while. So now I'm back, and I've been working on something else that was interesting. Another champion that I had pulled that doesn't get as much attention. Maybe it doesn't deserve it, but I thought it was interesting and I wanted to give it a shot. So let me pull that up and let me show you what I've been working on. Alright, so why is my screen on rare dwarfs, you might ask? Well, I will tell you. So among my pulls that I got Dracomorph, which is awesome. I got Longbeard, which was awesome. But I also got this guy, Perforator. Well, I hadn't seen before. He's new. He's not just new with the dwarves. He's new in the new release of the new wave of champions that came out in October. And he's kind of interesting. Let's go over his kit real quick. He has Vermin Slayer, where he attacks an enemy and has a 30% chance of placing a 5% poison, which is big, but only for one turn. Okay, and then you can book that to do more damage and increase chance up to 50%. The Hardened Tips, his A2 is on a 4-turn cooldown that you can get down to 3 turns with 4 books. Attacks one enemy, ignores 50% of the target's defense, and grants an extra turn if the attack kills an enemy. So that's cool. Now, let's look at his passive. Now, this is what really attracted me to see if there was any potential for this guy. And his passive is on a native 2-turn cooldown that you can actually book down to 1 turn. 35% chance of placing a fear on the target for 1 turn when the champion inflicts a critical hit, and they call that scare off, which is appropriate. So immediately thinking, okay, get a nice crit build going, and you could potentially, using your A1 or even your A2, cause a fear, which is a free crowd control for a turn. And that's interesting because this guy already hits pretty hard, and he used to hit harder. I think there's been a bit of a stealth rebalance with this character, because I could have sworn that his hit points were higher, his attack was higher, and his defense was kind of scarily low. So I think they rebalanced him a little bit, because he used to hit like a Mack truck. He was at 1432, I believe. There's only a handful of champions in the game that are higher than that in rares. Hyria, Ghoulish Ranger, there are 2 of them. So let's see how I built this guy, just to play around. I was curious to see if we would have a positive effect if we put them together, and let's see what I was able to do. Alright, so here is his gear. As you can see, he went shopping through Goodwill. Yeah, I realized that this is not good gear. This is just what I had. I didn't farm anything special. I did not try to perfect this guy. I didn't min-max at all, really. I had 2 workable pieces of crit gear, and I knew I needed to get his crit up, and I knew I needed to get his accuracy up. Those are the 2 important stats to make this guy's skills, work together. So I only had the 2, the helmet and shield that were usable in crit. All my middle row pieces were just not even usable. So it is what it is. I did as much crit as possible from substats, much accuracy as possible from substats, and with an accuracy chest that I found that's just cursed gear that I had some accuracy on. So this is just what I had. So we're just gonna roll with that. I belabored this point a lot, but it's difficult to experiment in this game. It just is, because everything's monetized, right? So I spent $5 on this project on energy that I used to finish Masteries and level gear and experiment a little bit to find the right team composition that this guy would work well in. So I hope that you enjoy it. I'm going to go into the Masteries now and show you a little bit of how I have this guy set up, given what I have. Alright, now the way I set up the Masteries for this guy, now I was thinking of him mostly as crowd controller, right? So I was what I was interested in, like I keep saying, was the passive. I thought the passive was super interesting. I wanted to utilize it, get the most utility out of it that I could. So I figured he's only level 50. I'm not going to be getting any tier 6 stuff. But what I want to do is make sure that that fear is applied as often as possible. Now, I found that it can be resisted too. So here's the multi-stage problem that we have with the fear passive. It's a 50% chance to apply it. That can be resisted, so you need to bump up your accuracy. Additionally, just fear intrinsically only has a 50% chance of working, right? Like when you're feared, it's only half the time that you lose your turn, right? So you can see that there's kind of a downward spiral of diminishing returns that we're dealing with. So while it might not be the best debuff, being able to use it just as a trigger of an A1 or an A2 for free, I want to see if I can wrangle some usage out of that. So I built his support tree accordingly. I just went for accuracy. I went for Lore of Steel to try to add. He has a crit set on there, so try to add some percentages from that. It doesn't work very well. I'll just again tell you right now. But not being good at math, I didn't realize that at first. And then also, I picked up a Cycle of Magic as opposed to Evil Eye, because it's really only the A2 that's going to be affected by this. So I figured occasionally it's going to give me a one less turn on my A2 every once in a while, which is cool by me. And then of course crit damage, and then I'm building him real slow. And it's not that you have to build him slow. He's intrinsically super slow anyway. I mean, this guy has like concrete shoes. It's really embarrassing how slow this guy is. Really dispelling that myth that Gimli tried to push on us in Lord of the Rings, that dwarves are natural sprinters. Not this guy. So anyway, I'm thinking first turn we get the extra damage when attacking with full hit points, and then that triggers his extra attack if he kills the enemy. And I just built it down from that, less than 40 hit points, because the people opponents he's going to be targeting are hopefully going to be super low on health from everyone that has attacked before him. So anyway, that was my idea with the Masteries, and I'll show you how that reflected in his stats. If I can go over to artifacts and pull that up. And what you are going to see is a completely average, completely run middle of the road, level 50 rare that you will see, with middling gear. This is basically kind of like what your typical free-to-play person is going to see. And that's really who I kind of make these videos for. Even though I'm not totally free-to-play, my thoughts are so scattered and I do so many different things that I can't really focus on anything to really progress very far. So that's okay. That's the way I like it, man. So as you can see, especially the Masteries, the increase in attack and the increase in crit rate are from the item sets. That Lore of Steel is really 2%, man, because the tier 1 and tier 2 Masteries give you a huge percentage bonus, but then Lore of Steel is tiny. So I don't know if it was worth the 120 scrolls or whatever Lore of Steel was. Maybe Evil Eye would have been better. That's okay. I'm just going to roll with it, and we're going to see what happens. Okay? Alright, what we're going to do in a minute is I'll show you the icicle run that I did. And I paired him with a lot of support and just one other DPS. I tried doing like a more standard, hit points, DPS support, and it was that was a no-go. I couldn't get anywhere, at least not the level I tried to. What I wanted to do was it stage 13, I think, or stage, I don't remember which, the Void stage. I wanted to run against the Void boss so that I wouldn't get any infinity advantages or disadvantages that would skew performance. So I paired him up with, if I can find Eris, my Eris here. She is also only level 50, and she has one mastery. She only has her increased crit rate. That's all she has. She is, however, fully booked, but not ascended. So she doesn't have her ascension for her exhortation. But she still has that really cool passive that counterattacks every time someone's attacked. She has a speed aura in dungeons, which is awesome, and gets an extra turn if the target is killed, which aligns really nicely with my dude here, who has the same ability. His A2 also gets an extra turn. So to see the two of these guys work in tandem with a lot of support behind them is really cool. And so I'll show you that Icicles fight. Now, he's not going to be worthwhile in, say, the Fire Knight, and he's not going to do spiders. But if you're looking for another new way, new rare to take into ice golems, or dragon, or any of the potion dungeons, you could definitely do worse than this guy. It's kind of cool. So let's go in there and we'll see what happens. Okay? All right, bear with me. All right, let's go to the videotape. Alright, now, first off, what's important is just to watch Eris and Perforator. Look at her. 1 down, 2 down. Then my boy, 1 down, 2 down. So they killed 4 enemies between the 2 of them. Like, right off the bat. It was awesome. Okay, now this fight is a little bit tougher because we have 2 Azures there with the shields, and they both ally protect, so it kind of makes things a little bit slow. So let me go over my team comp real quick. So it's 3 supports and 2 DPS. Eris and Perforator, of course, are my DPS. Everyone's at level 50 except for Zelata, who's at level 60. But mainly he's just there for shields and continuous heals. He does a really good job at that. Let's be honest. Spirit Host is there just to debuff because the minions and the boss are super irritating in that regard. And then Gorgorab is there. Gorgorab is here, of course, to make us faster, bring us back to life, and heal us occasionally. Alright, so we landed 1 fear, but it didn't trigger. See, that's the downside of fear, is that it only has even if you apply it, it only has a 50% chance of taking effect. Excuse me. Alright, there we go, another double attack from Eris, that's awesome. Alright, we're getting ready to hit the damage threshold to bring his minions back with the Frigid Vengeance. But we're all buffed up ahead of time. That's great. Good job, guys. Alright, minions are back. Alright, we got a fear, but he's dead. Alright, got a fear. And we're buffing, so it's possible that this guy's going to have an opportunity to hit us if his fear doesn't trigger. Let's see. Oh, and look at that, he got feared. So he would have put on defense downs on everybody, but he was not able to do because he was too scared. So there we go. There's a fear in action. Successfully. I think my Perforator might be going down soon. Oh, we got a kill. We got another hit. That's a lot of damage that guy can put out. That's pretty impressive for level 50 rare. With really middling gear. Like I said, the only thing level 16 on this guy is his accuracy chest. But between him and Eris both having extra attacks, it's like having another person on the field. It's pretty sweet. I mean, I'm sure with people with Relic Keeper out there, they're kind of going, yawning through this. But these are just, rares, and one of them's even farmable. You got another fear going, but I think he's going to be dead before he attacks. Yeah. I think another attack from Eris. That's awesome. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Almost 22,000 hit. That's a grown-ass man hit. Good job, Perforator. Another 20,000 hit. Not bad. Not bad for Walmart gear. And a poison. And the poison is not a big deal. It's only one tick of it, but still, it's a free 4,400 damage. And there's nothing wrong with that. He's dead again. That's the thing, man. DPS does not stand up very well in these boss fights, but it didn't matter. As you can see, we were past the last Frigid Vengeance threshold for the Ice Golem, so the AI kicked in appropriately and just ignored the minions and went straight for the boss, which is fine. All right, now let's move my head out of the way here if we can. There we go. So Eris came in at just under 280,000 damage. Perforator, even dying twice, was able to kick in almost 343,000 damage. That's great. Gorgorab, Spirit Host, and Zealota were just there to support those two DPS. We were able to take it down without any problem, and actually in a lot of fun way. It was great seeing all those debuffs getting cleansed and all the buffs coming up into heals. It was that was fun. That was a fun run. I liked Eris and Perforator both with the extra hits again and again and again and again. That was really satisfying, I must say. So again, this is just another rare that you can consider adding to your arsenal if you wanted to, especially if you're a free-to-play player, and there's a lot of free-to-play players out there. Consider building this guy. I mean, you saw him, he was doing man's work out there on the battlefield. So again, he's not the greatest, but he has a lot of utility, pretty decent crowd control. Now again, a lot of that crowd control was just killing one in the crowd and then killing another one in the crowd, but again, what better crowd control is there than killing the crowd? So that was Perforator, and I hope you enjoyed it. He works really well with Eris. He would probably work really well with any of those other extra turn to unkill heroes that are out there. So definitely consider using him. If you have him in your vault and you don't know what to do next, give it a go. And if you have Perforator and you've brought him to 60, let me know how he works for you. I'd be really interested to see if you've worked him into your arena team or whatever. That'd be fantastic to know. I can't possibly be the only person looking at this guy, even though his ratings are abysmal. I think he's a lot of fun. So if you enjoyed this, please give me a like. I would enjoy that immensely. If you subscribed, oh my gosh, that would totally make my day. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And if not, I will see you in the next video. All right, thank you so much, guys. Take care, and I will talk to you later.